One. And here we are with Lavonta the Great Davis. Lavonta, how are you doing today?
Good.
So, Lavonta, you've been for the SWA for a pretty long time, right?
Yeah.
And you know me personally, and you know mostly everybody in the SWA personally, right?
Yeah.
So, uh, in in a in like in a match, what would you say from the people that you faced? Who would you say was somebody that has that kind of that kind of impressed you, like the people that you faced so far? The like between it could be anybody. It doesn't have to be like whatever. So it could be anybody that you know. Like who?
Say Ryan.
Who?
Not Ryan. Probably Allen.
Alan. So like
Yeah.
what's so special about Alan? Like what's his what do you like about that? About facing Alan?
Energetic.
Energetic energetic guy. He is a very energetic guy. And as you saw like at ESW one night only, you did face him for the world title, and like tell me what was going through your head whenever you were going through the curtains and we were setting up the ring and we were doing everything like that. What was going through your head knowing that you're gonna face Allen for the world title in a last man standing match?
Just need to win and make it.
All right, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, like I would understand that too, because when I had the match with Dennis at ESW as well, like we had a thing where it was supposed to be a triple threat, but Michael got hurt, so we did a thing where that happened, and me and Dennis just we kind of like just started from there, and we kind of took it, and I feel like Dennis did a pretty good job. I didn't really expect that much from Dennis, but when he needed to do something, he got it done. So yeah, that's something that I like about the SWA is when people when somebody's out, somebody steps up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, that's another thing. Like, what are your plans for the SWA? Like, your plans. Like, what do you expect to be? Like, we have the king of the yard coming up. We have all these events coming up. What's your plan?
Want to eventually go past, get the U.S. title, and then I'm gonna go. After that, I'm gonna go for a world heavyweight.
And that was the other thing that I was gonna ask you. Why do you think you got the U.S. title, or the world title? Excuse me. Why do you think you got the world title so quickly? Like, well, like there was other competitors that could have gotten it, but like you were the one that got the number one contender spot at ESW one night only, and you just got it. Like, why do you think you got that?
I wanted it the most. I
You,
fought for it.
yeah, yeah, like that's I know that's a pretty true statement right there. You did fight for it. Honestly, you did do pretty good for the title and everything. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. But the other thing is I want to ask you what who how and who what whatever you want to answer first. Who brought you into the SWA? How did it all happen? What did you think of the SWA before you like actually saw it and everything? Like what like the whole story, What did you like from when SWA started to when to now, you know? So, like, who brought you into SWA?
Well, just seeing all the competitors made me want to join, and seeing what I could do for the future of it made me want to see what I could make happen.
So when you came in, what was going through your head? Like what were you thinking it was gonna be like?
Like, thought it was gonna be like fast paced, like a whole bunch of exciting things going on. It's gonna be kind of hard to keep up, but I was gonna try.
Like, yeah, I could understand that. And remember when we like first we first started SWA, and when we first started it, we had like what? How many people did we have? We only had like what, like 6 people maybe, I think.
Yeah.
But we didn't record around that time. Remember, we didn't have it in the backyard. We have it. That's the reason why we had the Street Wrestling Association. You know. And from there, when we had the Street Wrestling Association, we would have like little shows on our Instagram, and we would just like have our own pay-per-view. And I remember when we had our very first pay-per-view, not like an actual one that we recorded, but it was something that we had put together by ourselves, and it was like Halloween Havoc, I think. And when we had that, you were the world champion, right? And
yeah.
So when we put you as the world champion around that time, we had like all these ideas of like how it's gonna go down and stuff like that, and then like something came up, you know, and you had to give up the title. So like,
yeah,
when you gave up the title, like we were like, oh crap, we don't know what's gonna happen, you know, like it's gonna be pretty difficult to be like, oh well, we can just move on from that, and I mean it's whatever, you know, and we'll just do it another day. But you were out for like how long were you out?
Like a month or two.
Like a month or two, yeah. And we were planning on just like doing that. We didn't think of like doing the YouTube, We didn't think about doing YouTube for like when we first did it. You know, we did it. We were like, okay, we're just gonna do this, and it's gonna be for fun. You know, we had the titles. We had the U.S. title, and we had the tag team titles as well. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we had the world title. Wait, did we have the U.S. title around that time? Yeah, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and we put on some pretty good shows. Like, it was some pretty good shows. And, I mean, none of it was scripted. Well, I mean, the matches were scripted. But, like, besides that, like, what we would say, it was scripted. But other than that, it really wasn't scripted, you know? Like, the stuff we said wasn't scripted at all. You know, we just winged it. And I mean, we did a pretty alright job for like people that didn't really record. So what do you remember around those times that we did that? What's the number one thing that you remember?
Like jumping off ladders and fences and all types of things.
Oh yeah, so tell us that story about when you jumped off the ladder or something like that. Like tell us the story when you, because we saw many people like just jump off something. Like it was either the fence, the ladder, it was something, you know. So like tell us that story of you or you seeing somebody else jumping off something.
Like when I did, it was just like in the moment.
Like what made you want to jump in over, or not over, but off the ladder or off the fence or whatever?
I wanted to like do something different.
That's true, because not many people like not many like I didn't realize that when we first brought you in the SWA. I didn't really think you were that agile, you know. Yeah. Like I didn't think you had that much agility. I didn't think that you were that flexible or anything like that. I didn't think you could do much. So we kind of put you as like a big man, you know, like somebody big, you know. But when we did that, well, what happened? We saw you do all these crazy things, and we were like, what the heck? This guy's great. Like, you know, we got to put this guy as our champion. You know, it'll be something cool. Like we always put like champions. Like, we always put actual champions, like people that improve, people that do good, and you know, things like that. You know what I mean? And I mean, like with you, you were a pretty good champion for like 2 days, and then that thing happened. So, I mean, besides that, yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. And and talk about your return when you were out for those months, and you just like came back. Talk about that.
When I came back, I was ready to get the title back, ready to prove myself again.
And when you came back, do you remember who you talked to, or who you shot a promo with?
I think it was either you or was it Ryan, Alan? It was one of them.
It was me. I remember that. Cause I remember that day. That day was like very crazy. Nobody expected you to come. You know, we had two. We had a return and a debut. We had you return, and when we had you return, we had this guy named that we were gonna have. His name was EC. His name, like his actual initials. We weren't gonna copy the guy from TNA. We weren't gonna copy Ethan Carter. We were actually gonna like put this guy, and we were actually his actual name was like EC3. Not his actual name, but you know, his initials and stuff. You know, like he was the third, and stuff like that. So we were gonna have that. And I remember when he debuted, like he was very excited. He wanted to come. He wanted to enjoy. Like he was happy for it, you know. And most people are when they find out that, you know, we have this, and they see that we're doing good, and they see that hey man, this is actually pretty cool. So like they come, and you know, they join. And I remember when he debuted, we saw it was raining that whole day, and we had you stand outside for like so much. Remember that? And like tell me what was going through your mind when we had you stand outside for that long, just to like wait for the rain to stop, wait for everybody to get here, and do and everything like that. What was going through your mind?
Really, I was just looking around, and it was kind of cold. Feet was hurting. Ready to get it started.
And around that time, also, you didn't like your theme. And when you didn't like your theme, what was like something that you you gave us something, you know? You gave us an idea of like, this, I don't want this theme, I want this theme. What did you do to give us that idea?
Like, I dropped hints. Like, I threw like a glass bottle, like in the Stone Cold theme.
Yeah, when you threw that glass bottle, like we didn't really know who did it. Honestly, we were just like, what the heck, you know? It was kind of like crazy. It kind of came out of nowhere and stuff. We were setting up the stage and everything, and then we had the ring, or not the ring, but like we fought on like concrete and like grass. Like we didn't have the 4 chairs and the tarp, you know. We didn't have that at all. We had the ring, the grass, the grass and the concrete. And I remember when we would never drop people on the concrete, because like, who's stupid enough to drop somebody on the concrete, you know?
Yeah.
So when we did that, when we had the people on, when we had concrete just to throw punches and stuff like that, we were like, all right, well, we can't do anything. I mean, we could spit on it or whatever, but I remember when we were setting up, all we hear is the glass, a bottle just come down onto the concrete, and all we hear is a big ping, and I was like, what the heck was that? And when I heard that, I look outside, and I didn't really see anything. I didn't see anybody. I didn't really know who it was, you know? And I was like, what the heck? Like, who did that? I was mad. Then later on, we asked you, I messaged you, I was like, did you throw that bottle? And later on, you told me, yeah, you did. You threw the bottle. And we made you wait for, like, so long that day. Like, it was unbelievable. So, I mean, yeah, like, yeah, that was just, that was like back in not back in the days, but like that was like 2 years ago when we first did SWA, and we like didn't record and we didn't do any of that. And I mean, the shows went pretty well. So, yeah. So Lavonta, I got like 2 more questions, and I'll let you go after this. What are your thoughts of like the whole SWA roster, and what are your thoughts of like the subscribers, like gaining subscribers? How do you like? What do you feel about the subscribers? But first, like tell us about the SWA roster. Tell us how you feel about them. Anybody in particular? Who do you think is like a great star? In a star in the making and things like that. Who, in your opinion, you know?
Well, I feel like the roster's gotten a lot of depth since we started. Like, I mean, Robert's come a long way since the beginning, and Ryan's had his evolution of changes since the beginning as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's been through like 7 different themes.
That's true.
A whole bunch of wardrobe changes.
That's true. Like he's never really gotten like to a character that he's actually liked. You know, like we've given him so many characters, but he sticks to them. But then he just changes, and then it sometimes seems like he just like changes it every time he like wants to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But overall, he's a really good guy. He's a really talented wrestler, and yeah, so yeah, just keep going on with the list.
Yeah, Allen's always brought hype to the scene, to the ring.
Yeah,
always been a good character to be on camera.
Yeah,
You hype up the crowd, make everybody want to see what's about to happen next. And Dennis, he's working his way up.
Yeah, that's somebody that that we really like had high hopes for. Kinda is Dennis. Like you and Dennis were like you were supposed to go for world title, and Dennis was supposed to go for U.S. title, and when Dennis did win the U.S. title, like we were really happy, and I was like, man, I can't wait to work with this guy a lot and like improve on him, and but when we found out that he had like track practice and stuff like that like every single day, and he really couldn't come out, we decided that a champion has to come out like not every single day, but like has to be there for like most of the shows. So we kind of just said, hey, we're going to take the title away, but we'll give it back. Trust us. If you improve, we'll give it back. If you're doing better, once you're not busy, we'll give it back, and, we'll let you have your other shot. So, yeah, that's somebody that's really good. I'm glad you brought that person up. So, you can keep going with the list.
Yeah, and I think probably Michael will be the last one.
Yeah.
Michael, he's not around as much of the other stars, but when he does come around, he brings a lot of excitement to the crowd and to the camera.
Yeah. Like he's not very much of a talker, like he doesn't talk as much, but he has like magnificent moves, and he's a really talented wrestler. So it's it's amazing, and that's what we bring to the table. Like we've had so many superstars come in, and they leave, and I mean it's pretty tough. Honestly, I'm not gonna say this is the most easiest thing in the world. Like it's pretty tough. Like we understand that people have lives, people have other things to do, but if you want to help us out, we understand that you do want to help us out, things like that. And I mean, we understand that sometimes you can't come, sometimes you can, but with Michael, when we brought him in, we honestly were like, man, this guy's gonna be exciting. He's gonna be like, wow. He's gonna be like go flying. He's just gonna be like exciting to watch. People are gonna be like, wow, I really like this. And I mean, right now he's been pretty busy and stuff. So I mean, when the crowd does, or when the audience or subscribers do see him, I mean, they'll enjoy that. Hey, this guy's a high flyer. This guy can do whatever, and I mean, that's just something that we want to bring. We want to bring something different to the table, and not just the same person, like the same heel. Not, like we want to bring a different variety of people. Like we want to see something exciting, something scary. We want to see something funny. Somebody that, man, we hate this guy. And I've gotten so many like so many of my family members that do watch our show. So many of my friends. Everybody just tells me. They always tell me. They're like, dude, I hate your character. That's exactly what they tell me. And I mean, like, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm not trying to be like you. I'm not like, you're a good guy. I'm not gonna be like you and be like, all right, well, I'm not gonna be like you. I'm a bad guy, and when I'm a bad guy, I'm gonna be a bad guy. I'm gonna diss a lot of people. I'm gonna just be the meanest guy in the world. And I mean, if you know me, like, I'm not like that at all in real life. Like, I do have some everybody has like anger, but like most of the time I'm not like that. I'm a very funny guy. I'm very caring, and like, I'm not like that in real life. So like so yeah, and now, since you were done with the superstars, the very last thing, and then I'll let you go, Lavonta. The subscribers. What do you have to say to them? How do you feel about the subscribers? What do you think that we're at 28 subscribers, and what are your thoughts on the subscribers? How to get them? Why we're getting them? Anything you want to say about it?
I appreciate the subscribers that we have now. Like, they've grown a lot since the beginning. And they support us on everything. The views, especially the views. We have been getting a lot of views.
Yeah.
Since we started. Like, they're our family now. Like every single subscriber is important.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter how many we have right now. I mean, we still got time to grow.
Yeah.
But every single one's important. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. And the way to grow them, like, why do you think we're getting the subscribers? Like, yeah.
We're getting our subscribers like every other YouTuber gets our subscribers. Like they enjoy our content, and we make it for them to enjoy.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't really see that much of backyard wrestling, like associations or organizations or anything, or groups, like, interact with their fans. But like us, like, we really want to interact with them, because like when we see something on WWE like that we don't like, we want to be like, hey, WWE, you don't do this, do that. And I mean, like, everybody has a voice like that, like everybody really wants to improve on the WWE, or like a storyline. They'll be like, oh, the storyline should be like this. I want to see this person fight this person. And I mean, when we have those type of matches, like, like it's in the power of the people. And when we give them the power, I feel like we have better shows. I feel like we have better matches. But I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not always gonna like do everything, because sometimes we have a little plan for something that we feel like, hey, I feel like you guys would really enjoy this and stuff, depending on like how many views we get, how many likes we get, how many dislikes we get, things like that, like the messages, the emails of, hey, I don't think you guys did that well on this, I don't really like this person, things like that, the watch times and stuff like that. So I mean, we try and improve every time our matches. We try and improve our content, anything we can, and I mean, we really try our best to give the people the enjoyment of watching backyard wrestling. I know that we don't have a ring. I know that we don't really have anything like that. Not too fancy, but I mean, still, we still have heart, and we can still do something spectacular. So yeah. But all right, thank you, Lavonta, for coming onto my podcast. Thank you for talking to me and letting me interview you and do this podcast with me. And thank you for letting the fans hear what they want to hear and stuff. So yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right. And that was Lavonta the Great Davis, ladies and gentlemen. This next guy that I have, he was the United States champion. He was the underdog. His name is Dennis Macias. Dennis Macias, how are you doing?
Good.
So, I just want to add, this is for the people, for the SWA, I'm just going to keep it short, sweet, simple. I've asked the same thing, to Lavonta, but for you, I'm going to ask you some questions to try and get, the people to know you better,
Yeah.
SWA, how do you feel about it? That's your opinion. How do you feel about it?
It's pretty good.
That's great. Short, simple. When we brought you into the SWA, who was like the person to tell, like, give me that story of like what you did and like how you heard it. Like give me the entire story, because I want to hear that story, and I think the people want to hear that story as well.
Let's see, where did it start? I think it was like one day I was eating lunch with Alan and Lavonta, and they were talking about something and how I think they did some wrestling move. I was like, what the heck? Like, I couldn't even believe it. And I asked them like when, or like what they were talking about, and then they just told me about SWA, and then so I should join.
Like, what? Like you decided to join after that? Like, you were just like, oh dang.
Well, they asked me, and then I was just said the name of people. And I was like, yeah.
So like when you joined, like what did you expect when you first joined?
Honestly, I don't even know. I don't know. It was just
like you didn't know anybody. That's the thing,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you probably did, but like you didn't talk to anybody like us. I didn't talk to you. You didn't like I knew who you were, but like I just never talked to you.
Yeah.
So like when you came, I remember we were practicing some moves in the front. Remember that?
Yeah.
And so when you came, like when you saw us, what was going through your head?
I was like, oh snap! Like it was. See, when I turned that corner, I was just like, oh okay, so it's gonna be on the. I actually thought it was gonna be in the front yard right there.
You
Like,
actually
like
thought it was gonna be in the front yard?
yeah, that was like the ring or something.
Oh.
And it was just like surprising. I don't know.
And then like when you came, like like what?
It was just like surprising that like this is actually happening. Like, SWA right here.
And when you came, like you were like when I saw you come, when I saw you walk, I was just like, oh, it's just some person. I just thought that you were just a random person walking down the street, you know? Like I was just like, all right, well, that's cool. I was like, hey, I think he goes to our school. You were wearing like a white T-shirt and something else. I don't remember what you were wearing, but like the shorts or anything, I don't remember that. But I remember it was a white T-shirt. So you come and you start coming down our street, and I'm like, is he coming for us? You know? Like I was like, I didn't know what was going on, you know? So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I guess he is coming for us. And when you did, like when you came and like I don't think you said anything to us. I think you just like stood there. You didn't really have anything to say. Then I told Alan, I was like, Alan, who is this? You know, like I was just like, I'm not in a rude way, and I'm like, all right, dude, who is this? Can you get him away? Like I was just like, who is this and stuff, and then he was like, oh, he wants to join the SWA, and I was like, oh, for real? Like that surprised me because like I didn't think anybody was gonna join the SWA, you know, like I thought it was just gonna be like us, like 7 or 6 people, you know, that we had. So I was just like, all right, whatever. And then when you decided to join, you know, you had your very first match, and not very first official match, but you had your practice match. And who was that practice match against?
I think it was James.
It was against James, and for the people that don't know James, he doesn't like physical contact and things like that. Like he loves to play basketball and stuff like that, but he doesn't like wrestling. He doesn't try and do anything like that. And I mean, yeah, so but I don't know why he did it that time, you know? Like I was like what the heck? Like he's actually going to do it. So I was surprised. I was like, "Oh, we got another one right there." And yeah, so when you fought him, you didn't know any moves, right? Like I don't think we taught you anything either, right?
No.
And what was going through your head when we were like, oh, just practice with him?
Like, I don't know, like, was it gonna be like wrestling? Like, I don't know, like I don't know if it was like real hits or like, you know?
Yeah. And I remember we've had some guys come in and like actually hit us and stuff, and I'm like, well, damn, all right, that's pretty hard, but you know. Like I didn't really know what else to say after that. Like I was just like, okay, that's pretty tough. But hold on, Dennis. Let me just stop this real quick and let me continue the podcast. So all right, I had to pause it right there. I had to fix something. But so yeah, what were we talking about? The match, right? The match between James and you, like the practice match. Okay, so like. What was going through your head around that time?
Yeah, like I said, basically like if we were like really hitting each other, or we were supposed to fake it, or you know.
Oh, yeah. And then I told you I told you about like the actual people hitting us. Like, we had I want to say about 8 people that probably were gonna join, and then we had like other people that were gonna join as well too. You know, we were gonna have like a full roster, and I was gonna be like, wow, dude, this is gonna be amazing. And some of them just like backed out, they got scared, you know, things like I don't know what happened, but you know, I mean, what happened. So when that happened, I honestly didn't think that you were gonna like, after seeing the James one, I was like, oh man, we need some work on this guy. So I didn't think that you were gonna like, I didn't think that you were gonna be like, oh, okay, and go to the top and be a U.S. champion, you know? Like, I was like, whatever, you know, like, he needs some time, you know, I'll help him and stuff like that. But, I mean, when we got you up there, I mean, I was like, what the heck? He's actually he's actually improved. You actually improved on the punches. You improved on the kicks, and you improved in other things too. So I was like, what the heck? This guy's actually pretty good and stuff. So when you won the U.S. title, like, how did you feel going into the match? Like behind the curtain, like hearing my song play and hearing my song play. Actually, let's take it back to ESW. Actually, let's take it to ESW one night only. When you heard my song play and you were in the ring, what was going through your head?
I don't know. I was just like, like, was I really about to go there? Was this guy really coming in? I was not ready.
Yeah, like,
wow.
What? It was like oh, my fault. Were you gonna say something?
No.
But like, I got nervous, like it was kind of like it was a little nervous, like because I didn't want to mess up, I was just like, man, this is our very first one. We have to do like really good, and I mean, I felt like we did pretty good. I mean, I felt like we got the job done. I mean, we can improve a lot more, but I mean, with that, like, wow, we could honestly do a lot more. And now, speaking of Revolution, like we couldn't upload Revolution, but I mean, it sucked that we couldn't upload it because like we did an amazing, like, I honestly feel like Revolution was better than ESW, honestly,
Yeah, probably. I think it was too.
And when you came in to like fight against Robert, and you came in to fight against me, like, I was like, man, this is gonna be difficult. It's gonna be like we were just like, man, we gotta top the one from the Iron Man match. But I felt like we did top that off with we had a little story, you and me. We had a story. We had a thing where it was like, you came in, you started the actual SWA debut was when you started against me. Remember that? Like, we started it, you and me. That was my very first match, and I was your very first match. In like actually recording, remember?
I think so, yeah.
And when it was on SWA Action, the very first episode, when I was like, somebody come out here, and you came, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so from there, I was like, when I fought you, I think I made the decision around that time. I was like, wow, I think I want to start a feud with this guy. I think I want to like actually help him. And like when I got into the feud with you, like it was just crazy, like the next thing we know, we see Michael like come in, remember? And we see Michael come in, and you got involved between me and Michael. You at that one match, you brought the chair out, you hit me when the ref turned around, and you hit Michael when the ref was fixing something, and you let Michael win that match. Remember when that happened?
Yeah.
So I felt like the story was like good, I felt like our story was like, wow, this is actually good. This is gonna be a pretty good story and everything. And when we missed after ESW, when we missed like so many months, we came back. And when we came back, I felt like, you done your job, and I felt like you should get the title. And it was a complete shocker when you won the title, because I like I said earlier to Lavonta, like my family watches it, my friends of mine watch it. Like they asked me, they're like, was it like you lost the title? Like, were you mad, this and that? And I was like, no, I mean, it's all part of the show, But it was out of nowhere, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
most people would have thought that, the champion's gonna, whatever. He's gonna gain his popularity or his, whatever, and he's gonna continue being the champion, But but that wasn't the case. Like, you came in and you were just like, what'd you say? We had that whole fatal 4-way elimination match. Nobody thought that you were gonna win against Ryan either. Everybody thought that he's not gonna get past Ryan, because Ryan was like he's a dominating force, dude. Like, he cannot be stopped, and like, sometimes he has his off days, but it's just it's rare. But when you beat him, everybody was like, wow, I mean, he might have a chance. But I mean, it was fatal 4-way, like, anybody could have got eliminated, and you were facing off against a world champion. You were facing off against the U.S. champion. You were facing off against a contender for the world champion, Lavonta, the Great Davis, And when you came in, you came in first. What was going through your head whenever you came in? Like, how did you feel and stuff?
I was just like, I'm here. Gotta leave that all on the mat, Just gotta do my best.
Yeah, like that was crazy, honestly. And
yeah, but I was kind of nervous though,
because that was I think that was your very first main event. You never ended the show. You never ended the show. And to end the show, I think that was Showdown, I believe, when you ended it. Yeah, I think it was Showdown. Yeah, Showdown is where you just you ended the show. So it was like, wow, that wasn't the show we started off with. We started off with action, but I mean, it would have been cooler to see you win it in action. Like, you started off in action, you ended it in action, But yeah, just I heard let's see. I heard that that you had you were gonna be in like the cruiserweight division. You were gonna be in a cruiserweight division with Michael Allen and I think DP Shepard, and it was gonna be y'all four, and we were gonna have this other guy named Oliver, and it was gonna be all you guys in the cruiserweight division, because you guys didn't weigh as much as other people,
Yeah.
And being in what are your thoughts of like the cruiserweight division? Like, just seeing that lineup, like, what were your thoughts of the cruiserweight division?
We got some good beats like Allen and who was his name?
Michael.
Oh yeah, and Michael just flips and stuff. Very athletic.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's. I mean, I felt like the cruiserweight division was gonna be really good.
Yeah.
I felt like it was gonna be good, and then we weren't gonna have the U.S. title at all. It was just gonna be cruiserweight and world title, and I mean, that was gonna be it. But the other thing is when you came in, tell me that story of when you first came in, when we didn't record SWA, your debut entrance and everything. Tell me that story. When we were in like the concrete and the grass, we were doing it there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh God. Whew. I was like, so after I found out that we weren't doing it in the front yard, and we went to the concrete. I was like, oh heck, I know this can't be where we're doing all these moves. I did not want to bust my head open. But yeah, I kind of, that was like, I was kind of nervous, because like, I was still kind of, pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of like how, you guys changed me.
Yeah.
And, that helped a lot.
Yeah, and like, explain to the people like how we like train the newcomers. Like, explain to them how we taught you and everything like that. Like, explain from how we taught you, you know, because we teach everybody differently by the way they are and stuff. Like, we say we'll tell them, hey, you know, what type of, like, we'll ask them questions, and then, you know, we talk to them a little bit, and then we train them like some type of way, you know. And we go over what we think. Hey, we think you should be like, this, you know. Or we'll do something else. Like, we'll be like, if you have anything, you know, do you wanna be like this? Do you wanna be like that? You know, and tell the subscribers how we trained you and stuff.
Well, basically, I think it was you or Alan that I was in a match basically with, and so anytime I had a question, we kind of just like go over that, and we would take each we would take each part of a match and kind of train me, like explain to me like how to do this or how to sell this, and basically stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. And talk to us about the promo, like how we go over that with you, like the promos and stuff, like how you have your mic skills, how you talk to the crowd, how you do things like that, you know. Cause remember when you first came, you weren't as good as a talker. Like, the only good talkers, like, even Ryan was not good of a talker. He was a bad talker. He was bad at everything, you know? And, like, the good talkers were me, Lavonta, and Alan. Like, those were the good talkers. So we would do all the talking, but sometimes we would be like, you know, we have to have other talkers.
Yeah.
So tell me how, like, you got trained to be a better talker, and how you know, you kind of just evolved after that.
Well, you know, at first, the reason I wasn't like, you know, the time I was like kind of nervous, like I didn't know you guys like that, like that good, and then so I was like I don't know, it just felt weird kind of.
Yeah.
But and then so basically, but then later on, like, you know, that's because I got to know you guys, and I got more comfortable, and also you gave me some tips. You like told me, like, you explained to me like the scenario.
Yeah.
And how I should be feeling, you know, and just like, you know, like if I was in that scenario, yeah, then like, you know, what I would say and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
How I would feel.
Yeah, and I mean, like we don't pick favorites, you know, like we don't pick favorites. Nobody in there picks favorites. We pick people that we feel like, hey, you know, I feel like this guy should get a huge push, and I feel like this guy should get this title, you know. Like, if we don't feel like you're ready for it, we're not gonna put you at a main event spot, you know. But if we feel like, you know, you've been trying, you've done what you needed and stuff like that, like, yeah, of course, we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna put you in there. We're gonna we're gonna put you in the U.S. title spot, or the world title spot, or something like that, you know. So yeah, I mean, like, you've improved as a great character. You know, I felt like you had I feel like you're an up and coming star. Like, you're just gonna be like a huge star, and I feel like that you're just gonna make the SWA better, and hopefully later on that when we need you to, you'll push yourself up to the top, and, you know, we'll do things like that. But yeah. One last thing before I let you go, Dennis. We also have like a roster where I think it's like 10 people, I think, or like 9. How do you, if we were to have a draft, where do you think you would want to be at? Showdown or action? And what do you think that you can bring to the table if you were separated from, like, people, you know? Because, like, we can separate people, and those people can be in one show, and the other people can be on the other show. What do you think you can bring to the table?
I don't even know what they are.
Like, which one would you rather be in? Like, action or showdown? Like, say you had me, Alan, and like Lavonta in action. Like, if would you? Do you think you would want to be in action, or do you think you would want to like be the star of showdown and stuff?
Ooh, that's tough. Probably action.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would be. Just because there's more expertise out.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like it would be a way better match.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, because of more expertise. Everyone knows each other. Everyone knows each other's like fighting style and whatnot.
Yeah. And all right, so we went over like your experience and everything. So I know I said that was gonna be the last thing, but I got one more thing for you. The subscribers. We are at 28 subscribers. I said the same thing to Lavonta. He told me what he had to say. Your opinion, your personal opinion. How do you feel about the subscribers? What do you think? How do you feel about them? What do you have to say to them? And yeah, like, well, how do you think we can get more subscribers? And yeah, just anything that you would like to say about that.
Let's see. First of all, thanks. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just thanks to all subscribers. Let's see, how can we get more? I'm not sure. Maybe just get the subscribers to spread it around.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we could, get better, at our videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
And maybe get like what the viewers want or whatever.
Yeah. But
yeah.
All right, Dennis. Thank you. One-time U.S. champion, right here. You heard it here from Dennis, right there. The second U.S. champion in SWA history. The man that I love to face. The man that I had a good storyline with, and the man who is just up and coming star of the SWA. Dennis, thank you for having the time to do this, and I appreciate it, Dennis. Thank you, and thank you for everybody listening to this podcast of SWA. Don't forget to watch our videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Tell us how you feel about it. Tell us what we should do. And if you have any ideas, email us. Anything. Comment down below. Anything you want to do. Send us a video. Anything. What storyline we should have. Anything. But thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. And thank you, Dennis, for being on the podcast.
Yeah, no problem.